In Harrisburg, neighbors are thankful a 2-year-old girl is safe after investigators say she was held hostage for 5 hours yesterday. But what about the suspect? Seth Kaplan live this afternoon for us in Harrisburg with the latest. Good afternoon, Seth.
Hey, James. Yeah, more specifically in South Harrisburg at the big Hall Manor apartment complex off 17th Street. That is where police say a 28-year-old man held that 2-year-old girl hostage for 5 hours yesterday. You're looking now at how it ended right around 6 p.m. last night. Police say it started earlier in the afternoon when officers saw the suspect dressed head to toe in black, heavy clothing on a hot day. That didn't make sense. And they also say they saw him carrying a gun. They approached him. Police say he aimed at them but did not fire. Instead, he ran into a random apartment in the complex where a mother of 2 children got out with one of the kids but wasn't able to take the 2-year-old as well. Well, hours later, police shot the man and rescued the girl. A neighbor who has 2 little girls of her own first heard what was happening while they were in school and she was at work.
I'm glad she's safe. You know, I'm a mom of 2, so for me, it's like, could have been me, could have been my kids. It was hard to watch, you know, it's hard. It's hard for everyone, you know. I definitely feel for the man's family, like hearing the screams and the cries.
Yeah, not the only person who told us something like that. I'll tell you with more emotion. A woman drove by a few minutes as we were getting ready to go live a few minutes ago and shouted, "They shot my cousin." So there is that sentiment here too. Some people wondering how necessary the gunfire was. So what about that? Well, whenever police shoot someone, an officer-involved shooting as they call it, there's always an investigation. After that, this noon we're asking about that. We're also asking about the suspect's condition. Paramedics were giving him CPR as they took him away yesterday, taken to the hospital in an undisclosed condition, but clearly fighting for his life. You can imagine that investigators are going to want to talk to him if he recovers now under very different circumstances, James, from their last interaction with him, which was that hostage investigation yesterday. Harrisburg police, meanwhile, referred us to District Attorney Fran Chardo, who's heading up the investigation into the incident itself. And DA Chardo tells us he'll have something for us later today.
Seth, I'm just looking there where you are right now and how quiet it is compared to yesterday when I was watching you on TV. I mean, it just seems so hectic. Can you talk a little bit about the chaotic nature of what was happening? And there were so many people there, both the police and just people who lived in that neighborhood.
There were sort of stories within the story. We talked earlier with PSP, which was here. You can imagine a lot of different agencies. One of their officers, separate from the big incident itself, was, they say, punched by somebody. So, yeah, there were moments when you heard what turned out to be, as far as we know, the shot that police fired. We thought it might have been a flashbang by a SWAT team. There had been some of those earlier in the day trying to get him out. Where then you would hear cheers as the little girl was being rescued. You would hear jeers at some moments, folks uncertain about what was happening. So a lot of emotion, and despite the large law enforcement presence, there were dozens of police everywhere. Yeah, moments where you weren't sure what was going to happen next, as you would see a crowd of people sort of running from one place to the other today. As you said, yes, much calmer here, but I mean, this is on everyone's mind. Not the first incident that has happened in this complex, but folks here say they've never seen anything quite like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just something to watch unfold yesterday. Seth Kaplan live for us in Harrisburg. Thank you very much for that.